Good evening, everyone. It's the Horror Appraisal. I'm Sam.
I'm Evan.
Long time no see. It's been since Thanksgiving and Christmas, and we haven't seen you.
I know. We just wanted to get through the holidays. They were a busy one.
They were busy times.
Yes, sir.
So, you know that we've been working on doing the top 5 of each 1970 year.
We have been working on that?
And that is going to take a lot. That's going to take some time. We were both sick. I'm getting over the flu. He's getting over some other crud.
I think I have flu, too. I think whatever I had, I gave to you.
You asshole.
Sorry.
It happens. Anyway, so everybody's been talking about this movie, Autopsy of Jane Doe.
Yeah, man. This movie kind of came out of nowhere.
It's been popular all over on like the internet, the interwebs.
Has it?
And
I didn't hear about it till like you mentioned something about it like a week ago or whatever.
People have been like, it's like the best horror film I've ever seen. And it's like, well, that's a stretch.
Yeah.
And after watching it, it is a stretch. But there are great things about it.
I have to say, so you and I actually watched the Autopsy of Jane Doe separately. It's by the director. The director is the same director for Troll Hunter from about 6 years back.
Right.
I looked it up. His name is Andre. It's got one of those weird Ovredal. That's not his name. His name's Andre, and he's Swedish or Norse or something.
Sorry, man.
Sorry, but anyway, the gentleman has directed, though, I think was pretty original horror film. It really felt to me like a fresh take on a few themes.
I think so.
By the way, spoiler alert for this film, if you're interested in seeing the Autopsy of Jane Doe. If you want to see it first and then come back and watch this review, that's fine, but major spoiler alert ahead.
Major spoiler ahead? Alright.
Well, I mean, we always do that. We always spoil movies.
Well, it's a brand new movie. We don't usually do that with brand new movies.
Spoiler alerts ahead. Whatever. Watch at your own peril. Yellow alert. Whatever.
The effects on this, that's what stands out for me. I thought the acting in this was okay. I thought this...
Brian Cox is in the movie.
Was okay.
Yeah. What's the movie about, Sam?
The movie is about this woman who is found at a crime scene, and it's unexplained, and...
She's just like in the dirt.
Yeah, and she's untouched, really. She looks clean. She's dead. She's naked.
Yeah.
But she's pristine. She doesn't look injured in any way.
Except on the inside.
Yeah, well, she gets delivered to this father-son...
Mortician team.
Yeah, the father.
That's got to be every...
The father's a coroner for the state. And
yeah,
the son's
played by Brian Cox.
Yeah, the son is a certified medical technician.
Yeah. That's got to be like every boy's dream to do autopsies with his dad, right? Like some boys probably want to just play catch with their father. This guy gets to cut up people with his dad and like rip open their guts while, eating father-son bologna sandwiches. I think that's pretty cool.
I'll tell you had like a cacophony of good dead bodies, kind of like you would in Reanimator.
You really did. You did, actually.
Like there's a suicide victim who had, like, basically most of the movie you see, like, the sheet is, like, sunken in.
Mm-hmm. Because he doesn't have, like, a face there, yeah.
And at one point you do see a flash of the face, and I'm like, wow, that's actually really, really good looking. And then you have a girl whose eyes and mouth were sewn shut.
Yeah.
You got a burn victim. And,
yeah. Yeah, overall, I think the practical effects, there was a little bit of CG in this film, but overall, the practical effects for this movie were actually quite good.
I think so.
For like a low-budget movie. I mean, I thought they looked pretty darn good because they looked good because they were practical.
The cuts are so good that you think that the girl is really laying there being cut. Like, you think that she's really being laying there being cut open.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, you cannot make a prosthetic head look that realistic. It is really a real girl there, but it's just cut and edited in a way that it makes it look like she is the one being cut open.
It was directed well. I mean, the cinematography was good. Now, there's a question. I do want to get into a couple things, but there's a question I want to ask you. When I was watching this film, I couldn't really pay much attention to the score. Oh, man.
It smells like a dead body.
But I can't believe you would fart on camera.
I learned from you.
Yeah.
You jerk.
Yeah. But, like, what I want to ask you,
God.
I could not... Jesus Christ, that stinks. I couldn't really pay a lot of attention to the score of this movie just based on who I was with, and there's just a lot going on.
I didn't really notice it.
I didn't really notice much of a
much
musical
of a
score. What there was very minimal. I didn't know if anything on that stood out to you. Here's what I want to say. I do think that there were some very... I think they pulled off scary very genuinely.
Like, I love the building. I love
exactly.
The lights down the hallway.
The movie was a slow burn. Like I said, I am going to give a little bit of a spoiler here. The part where finally all the lights go out and then you heard all the corner drawers open.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Like, dude, the hairs on my arm stood up. I was like...
You can't be watching this and expect, something like that.
I really think this movie did scary well.
It wasn't frightening to me because, we've seen everything. But it is new.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't, like, keep me up.
I made that comment to myself last night. Mm-hmm. I said to myself, okay, this movie did something different.
Yeah.
It did something not necessarily completely innovative, but it did something new in a world where we have almost everything that there could be. And I don't know, just how intense the girl looks herself. And kudos to her for laying so still and looking exactly the same. Like,
gosh, she creeped me out. Like,
when they opened her jaw,
yes,
and she just stays there like...
Yeah, I was like, will you please close her mouth? Will you please close her eyes? Yeah. That's actually what I kept thinking.
Yeah, she was hard to look at.
One thing that I liked about this movie is, while it was a horror film, parts of it, kind of felt like a detective film in a way, at least for the first half.
Like a Sherlock Holmes kind of
thing.
Because
I really liked the chemistry between father and son as they were trying to solve the mystery of, what was cause of, because they wanted to keep going, at least the dad did, until they got a cause of death. And they had to find it. It was just, I just thought that was really cool. And we said, I didn't figure this would be a horribly long review. I wanted to talk about this movie, and so did Sam. This is a very good horror film. It's not. I don't think it's gonna make my.
Oh, my apologies.
I don't think it's gonna make my top 10 list. You need a different kind of cough medicine.
It
burns.
More than normal.
But while this isn't gonna make my top 10 list or anything, it is a very good horror movie that did some things quite originally. And to me, it was still kind of, once you had the aha moment, it was enough of a surprise that that made me actually want to watch this film again, just to see anything that I've kind of missed.
I do feel like the ending was a little bit. I mean,
I don't. I'd like to discuss it unless you. I just don't want to ruin it for everybody.
Well, I just want to say a movie that creeps along like this.
Yeah, you felt should have had a bigger payoff.
Well, I feel like offering an ending at all is impossible.
That's
when you have a movie like this, you kind of feel like the end character is going to be in a situation where he's damned forever. Mm-hmm. There is no escape. I don't know. I'm very ill. I tore up my throat. There's something there that's not right. But
do you want to spit in my hand? Mm-hmm. Okay.
The ending.
There we go.
They do like a false trick ending on this kind of movie,
right?
And I won't give it away, but it's very obvious.
Really?
I thought it was obvious. I mean, I wasn't fooled by it.
I was. I don't want to give it away.
No, don't give it away.
Okay. Well, we'll discuss it when we turn off the camera.
I mean, maybe some of you will enjoy it, and maybe I'm just an asshole.
But I actually thought that part of it. Actually, I'll be honest with you. That's kind of my only part of that. That's kind of my only thing I kind of didn't like about the movie, because it seemed like they found a solution. They found it, and I think it should have stayed that way. I don't think it should have been like a trick. Like, I actually didn't like the fact that it was.
That's what I mean. I didn't like the trick.
Oh, okay, I agree.
If you're gonna do it, then it needs to be done better. But you shouldn't trick people. I don't think.
Okay,
I agree. I think trick endings are kind of overdone in a lot of ways. And I feel like that happens when you don't know how to resolve something and you don't want to let somebody survive. And a good horror movie doesn't let people survive.
I don't 100% agree with that.
Or if they do survive, their entire life should be ruined.
Because, I mean, look at Marilyn Burns surviving the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, her life was ruined.
And you don't know if she's going to survive.
Yeah.
Like I've said over and over.
That's true.
She's going off in a truck and you don't know if it's part of the family. Oh, God, what the heck?
Probably shouldn't drink anymore.
No, I had some blisters in my throat.
Stop drinking, Sam.
I had some blisters in my throat from the flu, and probably some scotch wasn't the best idea to burn that.
But, like I said, that's pretty much all I have to say for this movie, The Autopsy of Jane Doe.
You should check it out.
Absolutely. You can, I don't know, I'm sure the film is available for purchase. I rented it off of PlayStation Network, I believe. And it's available on pretty much everything else.
Yeah, I mean, if you've got Xfinity, like Comcast Xfinity, it's on there to purchase.
Probably on any of your cable services for those of you who have cable.
Yeah, so we are going to work on the 70s thing, and
we're going to do that soon.
I just want to comment that involves watching a lot of movies we have never seen. Like, look at 1970 and tell me how many of you fans.
We're gonna have to commit ourselves to really going through these lists of the 70s films, because I'll be honest with you, we've seen more of them than you think. I looked through a list the other day. We've seen a lot more of them than you think.
Of actually 1970 though. I mean 1970.
That year particularly.
Yeah, 1970, 1971. I mean some of those are very difficult.
Well, we'll just do our best, won't we?
We will do our best.
All right. Well, hey, listen. There's actually one other thing I want to mention. I've got a shout out to a dude who actually contacted me on Instagram. It is heretic_1980. And this guy's a really true, awesome horror fan. The reason after he started talking to me, I noticed he was a fan of Maniac. So I was like, oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And this guy, if you go to his Instagram account, he actually, and I'll find it here, he has an Etsy page too that he's selling. He makes horror figures. He's made a Michael Myers Halloween 2 figure. He's got a Lucio Fulci zombie up for sale on his Etsy page right now. And talking to him a little bit and seeing some of his posts, he's starting to make a lot of stuff for lesser known slashers. He kind of wants to do a Joe Spinell figure from Maniac, he said. And he has sold me something that I don't want to give away what it is yet, but it's freaking awesome.
We'll be sure to show that off.
Yeah, he made some. It's actually, I believe he was going to put it in the post today. His Etsy page, and which I got to tell you guys, I'm new to Etsy. I'm sorry.
Don't buy anything from Russia. It won't make it through customs.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you go to Etsy, his store is ALHEX Productions, All Hex Productions. And like I said, his Instagram is heretic_1980. Super cool guy. Glad that he's a fan of the show, and I can't wait to show off what he's going to send me. So we'll be looking for that on our next video, and you guys check him out. He's cool.
Absolutely. Anyway, if you have suggestions or requests for single movies, we will be doing those while we're working on the 70s. So I'm Sam.
And we probably... I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
And I'm Evan. And honestly, we probably will need a little break from the tedium of the 70s. Because... Yeah. I don't know. I think once we get a couple of them under our belt, we'll get some fervor for it.
It gets more juicy as you get more towards the middle of the 70s, but the early part is tough. There's good movies there, but there's...
Is Jaws a horror movie?
It's going to have to be.
Guess there won't be any other options. That's funny. Like I said, I think it'll go better. But thanks, guys, for watching. I'm sorry. We've just been really busy over the holidays. So
there's another movie project coming up that's something else.
Yeah.
And we'll talk a little bit more about that when there's more details ironed out. So.
By the way, we are getting ready to hit 6,000 followers on Twitter.
We passed it a while back, and then some people unfollowed us because they're the fake accounts that they follow you and then
I feel like a tool now. I'm sorry. I saw that today. I thought I was gonna say something about. I was let's get 6,000.
If you haven't followed us on Twitter, do it.
Yeah,
the Twatter.
Check out our videos. Check out our YouTube account, and also we have a web page now.
Yeah, we do thehorrorappraisal.com. How simple is that?
Yeah. So. Hey guys, thanks a lot for joining us.
I'm Sam.
I'm Evan.
Have a great night and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. We'll see you soon. Bye. I'm sorry, I tried to keep that as exciting.